So, unique location here in the central business district of Shanghai. Coming up now, it's the gold medal match in the compound women's team event. And the top 2 teams in the world go up against each other. And let's take a look at how they got here. Korea and the USA pretty solid throughout the tournament. Korea winning the top semi-final by 5 points, the USA by 3. So they look like they're waiting in the wings. It's time for the gold medal match on Compound Saturday in the women's team event between Korea and the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athlete to the field. The Compound Women's Team Gold Medal Match. 女士们、先生们，复工女子团体金牌决赛，欢迎运动员入场。On circuit number 1, representing Republic of Korea, Choi Bomin, Yunhee, Chaewon. Their competitors on target number 2. Representing the United States of America, Alexis Ruiz, Sophia Strachan, Natta. The line judge for this match is Strachan.
Well, there you go. The teams are announced out there, just in case you didn't get the names. That's Kim Yunhee, Chaewon, and Choi Bomin of Korea up against your team, which I'm going to allow you to introduce, Mackenzie.
Yeah, we've got Alexis, Ruiz, Sophia, Strachan, and Jamie Natta. I'm really looking forward to this match. I hope we shoot well, but I think it's going to be a close one. Korea's a very strong team, but so are we.
Competitive throughout the week. And in fact, across the field it's been competitive here, but these are the leading teams in compound women's archery. Korea on target 1 will shoot first, and there's the noisy Korean coach.
A surprising first shot. I think they definitely expect to be in the middle right from the get-go, but a 9 opens a door.
It's 2 9s, as you said, Mackenzie, not what the Koreans expect. Very, very high standards. Jamie Natta to shoot first for the USA.
Tall, straight off the top. Nice strong shot, Sophie. Yep, there you go, perfect.
Communication the key here, Mackenzie. I mean, that 8 from Natta was not what she would have wanted.
Yeah, but I heard her tell her teammates that it was on her, so I think it might have been a shot thing, not a environment thing. So I think that's important to let your teammates know.
Yep, right there, perfect.
Good recovery there.
Full
all level after the first 3 arrows of this very first end. And you mentioned about conditions as Korea stepped back up to the line. We're surrounded by buildings here, by skyscrapers. How does that affect the wind?
I think it kind of creates a little bit of a swirly wind, so it kind of confuses you when the socks move.
So are you holding and trying to pick a moment when you feel the wind dip?
Sort of. I think mainly what you do is when you set yourself up for your shot, you look around and see what you can do best and then just execute a strong shot.
So 29 in the final 3 arrows. So dropping 3 points in the first end. Perfect 30 here from the USA. We'll see them lead by 1. And the wind there fairly consistent. It's staying fairly solid. As we looked at the sock.
Yep, right there. Perfect. Right at 3 o'clock. Good shot.
Good recovery from Van Natta after her 8.
Eight, 7, 9, and 9. Okay, Alexis, nice strong shot. Put it in the middle here.
So need a 10 here, and they'll still be trailing by 1, the USA.
Yep, right there. Good job. Good start here.
Well, Korea just edging that first end by a single point. And it's those 2 8s from the USA, stray from Van Natta and then Strachan. And here is the consistency of the Koreans. 3 10s. So Chaewon there, landing hers. But, the two teams really closely matched in terms of ranking, but it was those 2 8s from the USA that make the difference.
Yeah, the 8s I think are just a little bit of nerves, but then you kind of notice the Koreans are grouping a little low as well, and we're kind of on the high side, so I think it's just a little bit of strategy difference. I think most of us from the USA try to group a little bit on the high side just in case you drop a few out low.
Well, there's some debate going on between the Koreans there, having a discussion about perhaps a change of strategy or how the conditions are.
Maybe it could have just been talking about that shot specifically that they had that didn't go in the 10 ring and why it happened.
Well, nothing in it really, just a single point. The USA will shoot first. Mackenzie, one quick question. Shooting over water, it's unique on the Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit. Does it make a difference?
I don't think it really makes a difference, to be honest.
Nine and 9 o'clock. Perfect elevation just left.
I think the water has a
Strong shot here,
chance
Sophie.
to give you extra glare if the sun's at the right angle, but I don't think that it has any effect over your arrows or how you would aim.
Yep, right there. Good shot. You're in at 4 o'clock. Nice shot. Here you go, Alexis. Follow her in there. Just out at 8 o'clock. 9 at 8 o'clock.
So one left, one pretty good in the X, and then one down the middle there. So they are working with each other, aren't they?
Yeah, I would give everybody on the team like a couple of clicks low, and then Jamie a few clicks left. That's what I would say.
So a few clicks left is adjusting the sight as Korea start with a 9 in the second end. So just maintaining that 1 point lead. when you're standing on the line about to shoot, you talk about being dialed in. Are you absolutely focused on the centre of that target, or do you have a feel for what's in your periphery?
Honestly, I think it's just your instinct as an archer. We've shot so much to get to this stage that you feel the elements as far as wind and what's going on, but I think for the most part you're pretty dialed into what you're looking at.
Yep, right there. Full shaft right at 1 o'clock. Here you go, Alexis. Follow the girls in there.
You got this. 18 seconds.
So solid 4th and 5th arrow. Can they finish with a 10?
Just low.
She didn't like that shot. You could just tell by her facial expressions, but again, like I said, a couple of clicks slow would probably put her right in the middle where she wants to be.
Longish hold there, but plenty of time for the anchor athlete. Can she make it 4 10s in a row to finish the second end and steal another point into the lead?
So it stays at a 1-point lead, and I think that's really helpful for the USA team. I think they've got some things figured out from the first 2 ends, and now it'll be dialed in.
Yeah, so Korea consistent with 57 in the first end, 57 in the second. The USA just improving by 1.
Yeah. In quarterfinal, and while number 2 team USA beat China in quarterfinal by 8 points.
Van Natta, a mixture there of well, a little bit of pressure shown on her face, but they have improved. Korea and the USA both shooting in the 10s. Van Natta with that 10 there.
Yep, right there.
And the Koreans shooting a couple of 10s in that end and an X as well.
The third end, target number 2, shooting first.
So USA trailing. It is the third end of this gold medal match in the compound women's team event here in Shanghai. The USA need to fight back.
Yep, right there. Just under the X-ray. Good shot.
It's a good start from Van Natta.
Shot. Yep, that's the girl.
She looked right away as soon as she shot that shot. I think she knew exactly where it was going as soon as the release went off, so it was a really confident shot from Sophia.
Yep.
3 10s. The Americans have been improving from the first to the second end and from the second into the third, and I noticed whilst the Americans were shooting, so Chaewon was just rehearsing her routine. Rest of the Korean team in the crowd cheering on their women's team. So, from 1 point behind. The Americans steal the lead, but that third arrow for Korea has an asterisk against it, which means it's subject to a measure. Americans will all be about shooting 3 more 10s, right?
Absolutely.
Yep, right there. Good shot.
It's a good start for those 3.
Yeah.
Excellent at 2.
Excellent display here, keeping their calm under pressure, the USA.
Yep, outside
10-9 liner, I think it's in.
Nice strong shot, Alexis.
10 from Ruiz for a perfect 60 in the third end for the USA.
Yep, right there.
It's exactly what we needed to put some pressure on Korea.
Yeah, it's a testament to the amount of confidence the American team have in themselves there to shoot the perfect 60 against the world #1 team, Korea. The Koreans certainly thought that was a 10. It's been marked as a 9, but also subject to measure like the third arrow. Well, 2 10s to finish for Korea there, but they were leading by 1 coming into this end. They trail by 2, and that's because those 6 10s from the USA, the absolute perfect score in the third end. And here we go, the perfect 60 out of 60, Mackenzie, just what the USA needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect scores are definitely what we like to see.
Yeah, well, they'll be happy with that. All 3 athletes contributing to a perfect score in the third end and nicking the lead from Korea as we go into the crucial final end.
Do what?
Well, it looks like
Yeah,
one of those 2
put an asterisk by it,
Korean
but it was
arrows
like a
has
half
been
shot.
marked up to a 10. So actually the USA's lead, not 2, now just down to 1, but it's a 2-point swing.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see some really good shooting in this last end as well. I think USA's going to repeat what they did last end, and then we'll see how Korea responds as well.
Well, Korea will shoot first. They're trailing. And they're on target 1. They need to put the pressure on the USA by scoring big here. This for gold, the final end of the women's team medal match here on Compound Saturday.
It's really not the start I think that they're looking for.
Why are you
But
saying that
they're-
with a smile on your face, Mackenzie?
Oh, I don't know. But one thing that is really cool to see from Korea is they're just calm, cool, and collected. All business. Their faces are really relaxed and really focused on shooting 10s.
Both drifting out to the left, but I mean, we're talking fractions of a millimetre down at the shooting end on the shooting line. And a correction there to put it into the 10 ring, but a big opportunity for America now to put the pressure on the Koreans.
Nice.
9-8, line at 8. Nice strong shot, Sophie. Yep, good shot right there.
Helps out her
Again, right
teammate
at
a little
8.
bit. I
Right
think
at 8.
Jamie just didn't feel as confident in that first shot. But the good thing about team rounds is that you have teammates that can help you out when you don't have the best shot.
Well, just had a look at the wind sock, and the wind has died down a little bit, in fact, but it has changed direction, and all 6 of those first arrows in that in this fourth end, all drifting to the left. That is a good correction from the Koreans. There is that sock. You can see now it's blowing in a slightly different direction to the one it was before. This is a big arrow. So drifting into the 9 means the door is open for the USA. They can afford to drop 1 point here and still win. If they drop 2, it'll be a shoot-off.
Nines, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, nice wrong shot, Sophie.
So 2 10s required from the USA to win here.
Nice wrong shot.
So now the pressure's really on.
Yep.
The Americans need a 10 to draw level.
X!
And she gets an X. It's better than a 10. It's closer to the spider. Mackenzie's got the smile back on her face. We said it was going to be competitive, and well, you can't get closer than that, can you?
Yeah, it's very close, and we're going to see a shoot-off here. And the way shoot-offs work is both teams will shoot 3 arrows. They will alternate off and on. So I believe that Korea will shoot first, then we will shoot, and each archer will shoot 1 arrow. The grouping here is just amazing. Everything is low and left from both teams. USA is a little bit lower than Korea, but just crazy, crazy grouping here.
Well, this is the closest arrows from both teams. Well, just 17 millimeters for the Korean and just over a centimeter away from the spider for the Americans. But what a great climax to the sort of regulation time, the 4 ends. And the pressure was all on this young lady to shoot a 10 in the final arrow. And when that pressure was on, well, let's take a look at what happened. Well, it doesn't look like we are going to get a replay, but she shot not just a 10, but it was a really confident one right down the middle.
Yeah, I think that's really good practice for Alexis as well, because she has a couple more matches today, so this is going to be really good for her.
They're looking pretty relaxed, your teammates.
Yeah, just talking a little bit and getting their minds relaxed. I think the best thing to do is just focus on how you shoot your shot and just know that you're going to shoot a good shot.
Yeah, we say it time and time again. It's just go back to process. Repeat the same process over and over again. That's the trick here. Don't let your mind be your worst enemy. So a mini end to settle this gold medal here in Shanghai on Compound Saturday. Which of these women's teams is going to walk away with gold? That's an excellent start from the Koreans.
That's a really good shot from us as well. So in this shoot-off, what we're looking for is the highest score first and then closest to center. So if if Korea shoots a 30, it's going to be pretty hard to beat that first exit they shot.
But she dropped a point there. A 10 here from the USA will really put pressure on the last arrow from Korea.
Yep. Good job.
It's a really good shot.
Pressure on. Well, that's marked up as a 10. A 10 will be enough for the USA to win here. A 9, and the Koreans will take it on a measure, I'm pretty sure of that. Is that a 9? I think that is a 9, and I think that very first arrow from Korea may well have taken this one. They're high fives all around in the Korean camp. They're confident.
So it looks like
but it's hard.
Korea has won just because that first arrow is so close.
Yeah, very, very close to the spider. There was an X for the USA, but it was right on the 10X ring.
That's in all day long.
And even though the scores are equal at the end, it all came down to the closest arrow in the shoot-off.
Judges indicating,
Yeah,
and we did win! Oh my gosh! Our arrow was called in.
So the last arrow has been marked up to a 10. And what drama at the end of the gold medal match. We thought the scores were level. I think the Americans thought the scores were level, but I think the coach called for that measure to be done, and what a call it was. America take it 30-29 in the shoot-off. Well, Mackenzie, that wasn't just me there. We thought that was a 29 versus 29. Even you were shocked.
Yeah, I was very shocked because, well, Mel is pretty good at calling arrows, so once he said, I think it's in all day long,
there we
we
go.
kind of knew.
Well, we have to have a look at this one, really, don't we? Let's see what where these last 3 arrows went in the shoot-off for the Americans. First 2 were absolutely perfect, and then it was this third one down the bottom.
Just in by a frog's hair. I mean, so close.
That is absolutely superb to get those images as well with the graphic of the Falco Eye, confirming that the USA, in a thriller, have taken the gold in the compound women's team event here in Shanghai.